me out into the black.
Tell them I ain't coming back.
Burn the land and boil the sea.
You can't take the sky from me.
There's no place
I can be
since I found
Serenity. That's right, I'm Ben.
And I'm James.
In this episode, it's time to reopen some old wounds. Firefly.
Firefly is a show that's been requested many times by one of our loyal followers blogging Spider-Man.
Which was unnecessary because I've wanted to do the show since we started. I could totally get into that.
Now Ben's already told me that Firefly is a show he can nerd out about for hours, so we're gonna do our best to condense this down.
That's right, James, we're gonna try and condense all that awesomeness into a bite-sized video that you can take home and enjoy.
That's kind of what I just said, Ben, isn't it?
Hey, do you want to steer this YouTube show or what?
Yeah.
Well, you can't.
Shiny.
Synopsis!
Yay!
Yay, indeed! Basically, the show is about a ragtag group of people stuck on a spaceship, going through space, and just trying to survive.
What kind of a show is it, Ben?
Well, James, to describe it like a lot of people do, it's a sci-fi western. There's actually a perfect moment in the title sequence of the show where Serenity, the spaceship, flies over a bunch of horses.
So they're on a spaceship, or as they call it, a boat. What's going on, Ben?
The show is set in the early 26th century when humanity has left the Earth and has colonized and terraformed other planets and moons in the galaxy. The main government body that controls everything is called the Alliance. We're on the side of the Browncoats. They're the Independents that fought against unification with all of these planets. They wanted to keep their own independence.
So as you might have guessed from Ben's description, it's a lot more about the Wild West kind of politics side. There's barely any sci-fi apart from the spaceships. There's definitely no time travel.
Not far back enough. Okay, that was weird. Anyway, let's go into the characters. Now, I don't want to actually describe the characters to you because I think if you just watch the first episode, which is a two-parter called Serenity Part 1 and Serenity Part 2, you're gonna get a really good idea of the characters. But we're gonna just list them out in pairs because I think that's funny.
Couple number 1.
We have Captain Malcolm Reynolds and Inara.
Couple number 2.
We have the Doctor, Simon Tam, and Kaylee, the mechanic.
Couple number 3.
We have the pilot, Wash, and the number 2, Zoe.
Couple number 4.
Not really a couple, but why not? We have Shepherd Book and River Tam.
And tonight's final couple.
The adorable couple of Jane Cobb and Vera, his gun.
So how would you get into it, Ben?
Well, James, we already suggested watching the first episode, part 1 and 2 of Serenity, and there really aren't that many episodes. There are only about 13, but the top episodes that I would recommend if you really want to quickly get into Firefly are Shindig and Our Mrs. Reynolds. Both of those episodes give you a lot of depth into these characters. Then you need to watch Ariel because that really does a lot of plot development, plus it's really cool. And then finally, I recommend watching Out of Gas and Objects in Space. Really, if you think about it, I've listed pretty much half of the episodes.
Yeah, there's really not that many episodes to watch, seeing as it was cancelled by Fox.
James, why did you bring it up? I thought we weren't going to talk about that. We call that the dark period.
Well, then we have to talk about the cancellation. It's one of the most important things that's happened to the show, and surely it developed some kind of passion amongst the fans to get something done right.
You're right, James. Actually, whenever someone finishes Firefly, they go into this thing called a post-Firefly depression. It's when you realize there aren't any more episodes left, and you feel that there's this big void in your life that you need to fill it with something else. You gotta fill that void.
Once you come out of this period of depression as a Firefly fan, you call yourself a Browncoat, and they've accomplished something amazing amongst fans. Tell them what that is, Ben.
Well, James, the amount of fan base support from buying DVDs, talking about it, blogging about it, caused Universal to basically create a movie that they called Serenity. It was supposed to be a 3-parter, it didn't do too well in the movie theaters, but it's such a good movie and you gotta see it as well.
I'm gonna regret asking this question, but Ben, why do you love it so much?
Well, James, I love the show because, first of all, it's one of Joss Whedon's creations. Another reason why I love this show is because of the characters. It's really less about the situation. I do love sci-fi, I do love westerns, but really what makes this show so amazing is the relationships between the characters. It's just hard to express. Really, I recommend getting a copy of some of these episodes, watching it, and I guarantee you, you're gonna love it. So I could totally get into that. Firefly, I'm Ben.
And I'm James.
Thank you so much for watching. Please comment in the doobly-doo if you have any suggestions. As evidenced by this show, we definitely take suggestions and we will do them.
Also with the doobly-doo, press like and subscribe so you'll be the first to find out about new shows. You can also find out about new shows by following us on Twitter or liking us on Facebook.
Credits!
check out our latest video, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and check out our partners, Creator X.